The Schengen area, a trade route used by the European Union, is having difficulties. While some believe China is to blame for this collapse, it is a possibility. China may also hold the key to maintaining the Schengen area, but doing so will require the European Union to approach China for help. The Schengen area crisis has been linked to China's Belt and Road Initiative, but it's important to recognize that the US has a part to play in the development constraints placed on the region. The EU is now unable to autonomously oversee the region's security without seeking assistance from China due to the US's persistent imposition of restrictions. So the question is, how can China, a rival, help? Let's investigate. Welcome back to our channel for yet another thrilling episode. Discover China's innovative initiatives, tales, and expanding global influence with Innovative Diary. Our videos will pique your interest if you're new to the channel and like learning about modernism that moves quickly, particularly China's rise to prominence. We'll talk about the reasons for the Schengen area's collapse in this video. We will also discuss the likelihood of China supporting the EU. See if the Schengen area and the Belt and Road Initiative are in competition by watching the movie through until the very end. Now let's get going. A united and integrated Europe was once envisioned by the Schengen area, which is home to 27 European nations. The Schengen Agreement, which was signed in 1985 and legally created this zone, has drastically changed how people travel inside its boundaries. The Schengen area, named after the small Luxembourg municipality where the accord originated, has come to represent freedom of movement and the removal of internal border barriers. According to some experts, China is to blame for the current collapse of this region. But let's first discuss the historical background of this area before we go into it. The Schengen Agreement, which was signed in 1985 and represents a turning point in European history, is the source of the Schengen area. By doing away with the requirement for passports and other forms of border control at mutual borders, this treaty cleared the path for the establishment of a borderless Europe. The village of Schengen in Luxembourg, which bears the agreement's name, represents the genesis of this revolutionary pact. Fundamentally, the Schengen Agreement is a pact that eliminates border controls inside the Schengen region. This has made movement across national borders easier and promoted a sense of oneness among the participating nations. In addition to streamlining travel, the agreement creates a uniform visa procedure for foreign visitors, offering a unified front in external affairs. One illustration of the concept of free mobility is the Schengen area. Unrestricted travel within the Schengen frontiers is guaranteed to over 400 million inhabitants of the European Union and non-EU people living in or visiting the EU. Among member states, this fundamental idea has promoted a spirit of solidarity and cooperation. The Schengen member states have done more than just remove internal borders. They have come to agreements on a number of issues, such as asylum and visa regulations. Their police and judicial agencies work together within a framework that emphasize their shared commitment to collective security. The majority of EU members are included in the Schengen region, but it's vital to remember that Ireland, Cyprus, Bulgaria, and Romania are not at this time. But as part of their continued efforts to join the group, the later three governments put many of the Schengen provisions into effect. This captures the allure and advantages that the Schengen model formerly provided. The lives of both EU citizens and non-EU visitors living in or traveling to the EU have been significantly impacted by the Schengen area. Traveling freely within the Schengen borders has improved economic and cultural relations among member states, in addition to promoting tourism. Traveling within the Schengen area is now hassle-free thanks to the removal of internal border procedures. As a result, there has been a sharp increase in tourism as people go to other member nations to experience the unique cultures, scenery, and historical monuments. By uniting Europe as a vacation destination, the Schengen concept has enhanced knowledge and enjoyment of its variety. The uniform visa policy and simplified travel inside the Schengen area have made it easier for member states to integrate economically. Professionals can work together fluidly across boundaries and businesses can run more smoothly. This has encouraged creativity and cooperation and helped to expand the common European economic area. There is no denying that the Schengen area has many advantages, but there are drawbacks as well. The intricate balance between open borders and security is becoming harder to maintain as Europe deals with changing security challenges and geopolitical changes. One of Europe's biggest challenges has been the Schengen area's borderlessness. The Schengen area, which is a part of the European Union, presents security issues in addition to encouraging free mobility. Travel convenience can be used for nefarious purposes, such as terrorism and human trafficking. Finding the ideal balance between safeguarding the security of their citizens and maintaining the openness of the Schengen borders is a constant challenge for member states. The ability of the Schengen concept to withstand external geopolitical forces has been put to the test by the flood of migrants and refugees. Divergences in the social and economic advancement of member states have sparked discussions over the fair allocation of duties, especially when it comes to overseeing external borders. The Schengen area presents difficulties that need for serious thought and cooperative solutions as Europe negotiates the complexity of the 21st century. The Schengen model's survival and applicability depend on finding a balance between security and open borders, resolving member state differences, and adjusting to changing geopolitical environments. Apart from the issues that the EU has acknowledged, there are numerous other issues. You can still see them. In order to comprehend why the area is doomed to collapse, let's discuss them. There is continuous discussion over whether the Schengen area is about to implode. Numerous sources have alerted people to such vulnerabilities, raising concerns. These worries are frequently the result of both internal inequalities among member states and external pressures like security risks and the flood of migrants and refugees. To better grasp the situation, comprehend what the EU is hiding, and comprehend the intricate dynamics at work, it is imperative to have a thorough conversation. The EU highlights how adaptable its architecture is to changing circumstances. They claim that a key component of this resiliency is the Schengen Borders Code, SBC. When there is a significant threat to public policy or internal security, member nations are authorized by this law to temporarily reimpose border restrictions at internal borders. Crucially, this action is only taken as a last resort, after all previous attempts to resolve the situation have failed. The EU also emphasizes the substantial economic benefits that its member nations receive. Free mobility of people and products encourages cooperation, simplifies corporate processes, and strengthens economic integration. International travel is made easier by the common visa policy, which supports a thriving tourism sector. The claim that the Schengen region is a useful asset in terms of shared economic prosperity, as well as political unity, is contingent upon these economic benefits. Comprehending the workings of the Schengen Borders Code is essential to understanding the current situation in the region. The code recognizes that there are instances in which the common interests of the Schengen region need to be protected and permits member states to re-establish internal border restrictions under certain conditions. The EU claims that having the ability to reimpose border controls is a strategic reaction to unanticipated problems rather than a sign of weakness. The Schengen Borders Code recognizes that member states may need to adopt temporary measures to protect their citizens' safety and well-being in the event of major threats to internal security or public policy. Furthermore, they assert that it is imperative to stress that the decision to reinstate border controls is being made as a last resort. Before pursuing this course of action, member nations are urged to try every other option. They claim that this demonstrates the dedication to upholding the Schengen area's transparency and integrity while addressing particular pressing issues. But all of this was overly simplistic. Now let's discuss the issues in more detail. Tell us, are you enjoying the video before we move on? If so, kindly subscribe to our channel, like and share the video, and watch more videos regarding China's rise to prominence and global influence. Now let's go on.